I cannot stop buying decks. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you haven't, welcome to my channel. Here at In Your Hands Tarot, I like to do unboxings, flip-throughs, review type videos on various different tarot and oracle decks, and much more. So I have some new additions to my deck collection, and I figured, since it has been a while since I posted my tour of my deck collection, obviously it has grown since then, so I'm just doing this video to kind of keep you guys updated on what my collection currently looks like. And I figured by making this video, some of you may find it beneficial if you are interested in maybe purchasing some of these decks and you're kind of just looking for more information on them, more of a deeper look through. So hopefully you find it helpful in some way. So yeah, with that being said, let's jump right into it. So I'm gonna start with the adorable Secret Garden messages. I love this little tiny baby deck. Also, I didn't know that the cards were going to be this small when I purchased it. For some reason, I was kind of thinking that they would be more of like your standard size card. But when it arrived and I seen how small it was, it kind of just made me love it that much more. So these cards are really cute. Even the box is adorable also. Also, if I have any review videos or flip through videos for any of the decks that I'm going to be showing you guys today, I will tag them in this video if you want to go and check them out. So yeah, the cards are quite small, and comparing them to the Rider-Waite Tarot, yeah, there's a little bit of a size difference. I just wanted you guys to be able to see just how small the cards are, but like I said, it, in my opinion, kind of just, it really suits the enchanted sort of feel of the deck. Because when I think of anything enchanted, I think of like a forest and little forest animals and fairies and just like little woodland creatures, you know? So yeah, I feel like with the deck being this size, it fits that theme perfectly. So I really enjoy the backing of the cards also. I think it's really cute and it's really fun. Definitely gives off that Secret Garden feel. There's also another deck, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a partner to this one. I'm pretty sure it is by the same creator. I don't remember what it's called, but I really want that deck also to go along with this one. So the messages on the cards are short and sweet, but they can definitely carry some weight to them depending on what you're going through in your life at that moment. For me personally, sometimes just a quick little message like this, a quick little reminder, is definitely something that I could use throughout my day. So the borders around the cards may look the same, but they're actually different for each card. So in this card we have a little fairy, cute little fairy here. And then in this one, we have just some leaves. Like, this part of the border remains the same, but on each card in the bottom left corner, the little image changes, which I think is fun. It's definitely cute. So I'm not going to show you all of the cards because, like I said, I do have a deck flip through for this that you can go and check out if you would like to see all of the cards. So yeah, just simple little read, no guidebook or anything, just short and sweet messages, things that you may need to know to help you go about your day. These are also kind of fun too to incorporate into tarot readings. I know that I have done it. I will pull a card either at the beginning of a reading or after, just sort of as a little, either like a little starter to help see or set the tone almost for the type of reading you're going to be giving, or as like a final closing message after a reading. Also, I really like the little magnetic top of the box here. At least I know that the cards are safe. They're not gonna come flying out ever, and it's a bit tough to even open, so I like that. It's a good touch. Up next is the Spirit Junkie Affirmation deck, and it's kind of funny because when I purchased this, I didn't even look at the name of who created it. I just seen some of the cards online and I thought I needed to have this deck. It's so fun and vibrant and lively. I needed to have it. And then as I'm flipping through the cards, I'm like, this style looks very familiar. Like, I feel like I've kind of seen this before. And then I turned to my shelf to take a look, and then I noticed that I also have the Super Attractor Affirmation deck, also by Gabrielle Bernstein. So that made total sense as to why it seemed so familiar. And I really like the Super Attractor deck as well. So it was no surprise that I was also drawn to the Spirit Junkie deck. So the box is really fun. It's very colorful, very lively. I really like how this little star has been drawn because I used to draw my stars like that when I was in elementary school. So I thought that was quite funny as well. So the inside of the box is lovely. I really like that as well. And then it was the back of the cards here that made me click that I've seen this before, and at first it scared me because I thought maybe I already have this deck. Did I seriously buy it twice? And then yeah, I noticed the Super Attractor, and then it just all clicked and made sense. But I really like the design of the backs with the flowers and the blue in the middle. I believe the Super Attractor is pink in the middle, which I also liked because pink is my favorite color. But yeah, really nice backings. And then the cards kind of have that matte feeling to them, which I don't mind in an affirmation deck. I quite like it. So I really enjoyed these messages, and I did a flip through of this deck as well that I will link so you can see all of the cards if you wish. But yeah, they're simple messages, not as simple, I would say, as Secret Garden, but like it's definitely enough. And the artwork on each of the cards is phenomenal. Like the colors, just, they're so vibrant and they're very easy on the eyes to look at. And I realized that a lot of the messages on the cards, I could really resonate with them. Like, it was definitely things that I need to hear. And in my opinion, sometimes that's hard, at least for me personally, to find in an affirmation deck. Sometimes the messages are just, I don't know, like too complex. Not, like, sometimes I just need something that I feel relates to me, but I'm like a very simple person, you know. So just like short and sweet messages that I can relate to, that I feel gets me, you know, is really all I'm looking for. But yeah, once again, these colors are so incredible. I love each of the cards. Like, I don't think there's a single card in here where I don't like the design of it. And each one goes quite well with the message. So since I have two of Gabrielle's decks, I guess I would say that I'm a fan of her work. So, yeah, I could definitely see myself purchasing more of her decks in the future because I just click with them very easily. Okay, and then last but not least is the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. I am in love with this deck already. I just received it, I want to say about a week ago, and even just the cards weren't even here yet. I literally just clicked purchase on Amazon and I was already like drawn and connected to these cards, and I couldn't wait until they arrived. So as always, I will start with the guidebook. Now, I really enjoyed this guidebook. It was put together very well, lots of information, very well written, easy to understand, you know, like my basic like check marks that I usually look for within a guidebook. This one I feel covered them all. So flipping through to the actual cards, in my opinion, a good amount of information, a really good amount of information that is easy to understand and grasp what the meaning is. And each page has the image of the card and the card name, and then about a paragraph or so, maybe 2 paragraphs, of description, which, yeah, in my opinion, is a good amount of information for me. So we have the card meaning, and then we also have what the Sacred Traveler wants you to know, which I think is very helpful because it just adds even more information to the card and helping you to understand it better. So yeah, that's the guidebook, and just a good quality guidebook also. Like, it's a nice smooth matte finish, and it's pretty hefty for being a small book. It's got some weight to it. So yeah, a really good guidebook. And now for the cards. So for anyone who loves the color purple, this deck would probably be a good fit for you. Purple is definitely the theme, I feel, for this deck. So a really pretty design on the back. And then also cardstock is really good. I feel like it is a sturdy card. I'm not going to, there's no fear when I'm shuffling with it that I'm going to rip it or anything, or bend it or anything like that. I feel like it's a really good cardstock. I don't know, there's just something about this deck that drew me to it. I feel like the imagery definitely had something to do with it. And the images, to me, they're very relaxing, very soothing to look at. Like, I feel a sense of calmness even just right now making this video for you guys. After receiving it, I just found myself like coming home after work and just sitting down with this deck and just shuffling it. Like, maybe not even doing any card pulls, just sitting and shuffling with it and spending time with it. As of right now, I would say that this deck and the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck that I got also not too long ago, these two are probably my favorite Oracle decks at the moment. I just resonate with these cards very well, I guess. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is the Tarot Bible by Sarah Bartlett. So I actually purchased this book today, and it was funny because my local bookstore just opened back up, So this was the first time that I have been in there in like probably close to a year. And I don't know why, but I guess back when everything closed down because of the pandemic, I wasn't really doing tarot or studying tarot or anything at the time. So like I've been in that bookstore a million times, but was never doing tarot. And then when I joined the tarot community online, a lot of people were talking about how they were finding decks and books at their bookstores, and I never thought to check there, and then I couldn't because it was closed. But today I ended up going, and they had so many decks, so many books, obviously, that yeah, I really had to like control myself because I wanted to buy everything there. Usually when I purchase decks lately, it's just been online. But yeah, it was really nice to find out that I can literally just, go not too far from home and find some really nice decks and some really good books. So the definitive guide to the cards and spreads. The first thing that caught my eye when I was looking at this book in store was actually how each of the sections have different colored pages. And I thought that was smart, for one, for organizational purposes, but also it's really nice to look at, and it's really cute. I love the very like soft colors that they use. I quite enjoy the different color pages. So I bought this book today, and I'm actually already like halfway through it. I could not put it down. We were even like trying to watch a movie, and I found myself picking it back up and just reading it because I couldn't put it down. I couldn't stop. So one thing that this book talks about quite often, and it fits into this part here, tarot as a mirror. They talk about how tarot is a mirror of you. It's like looking in your reflection. The tarot just projects back everything about you, whether you know it or not. And because it's doing that, the tarot doesn't lie. It will project back to you exactly how it is, whether you like it or not. So when they were talking about tarot in that sort of way, of it being like a mirror of you, it also helped me understand it a lot better too. We start with an introduction, just general information that you may or may not know about the tarot, and even if you do know it, it's always good, as like a refresher. Some of the things in here I've already read before, but I don't know, just reading them again, sometimes it's like it brings it back to you, or then it clicks like, oh yeah, I remember reading about that, or I remember that about tarot, and maybe it's something that I forgot. It has a getting started section, which is great for my fellow beginners. It even talks about choosing your first deck and getting to know the cards, how important that is. It even talked about shuffling techniques, which I thought was quite interesting. I never really knew that there were like specific ways that you could shuffle. I just kind of thought you just shuffle. I mean, everyone has their own preference, their own way of doing things, but yeah, I didn't know that there were actual specific ways that you could do it. There's even a part in here about how to properly word a question, which is very important. And I feel like a lot of people, well, I understand like non-tarot readers probably wouldn't know it, but being a tarot reader, we know that there are certain ways to go about asking a specific question, or even just asking certain questions and not asking others, ways that you can answer yes or no questions. I really quite enjoyed the reading for yourself chapter, because reading for myself is something that I struggle with, and then there's also a reading for others chapter as well. And then we're into the majors. So we have a bit of an intro here with understanding the major arcana. And then it goes right into breaking down each of the cards. So we have a nice sized color photo of the card, keywords, key phrases, and then interpretation. And then up here, it even tells us what number the card is and the zodiac affinity to it. So a really good amount of info per card, which I am very grateful for. And I personally feel like it's a really good breakdown of each card. It's very easy to follow along with. I wasn't confused. I didn't go through all of the cards yet, but the ones that I have read over, I found that they were very clear in their descriptions, which again makes this book great for someone who's just starting out. So those are the majors, and then flipping to the minor arcana, understanding the minors, so breaking down the court cards, telling us a little bit about each of them, and then it also breaks down the numbers for each of the cards, which is really helpful. And then we jump into each individual suit. So we have the suit of wands here, some information, keywords again, and a suit of wands exercise. So once again, a nice full colored image of the card, more keywords and phrases, and a nice amount of description for the interpretation. And each of the minor cards are like that and have that amount of information. Okay, and then after the minors, we have relationship spreads, which could be interesting once I reach that part. Revelation spreads, so just a bunch of different types of spreads that you could do depending on what you are looking to dive deeper into. And then we have a developing skills and knowledge section. So I'm actually really excited to reach this part of the book. So there's even a section on tarot magic, numerology, which I love reading about numerology because it's definitely something that I need to learn more about and need to remember more. So yeah, that's basically the Tarot Bible. I feel like the title of this book is quite fitting. This is probably going to be one of my go-to books, especially if I just need like a quick interpretation for a card. I feel like this would be a good book for that. Also, it's not very big. I don't know if you can tell, and I don't really have a book here to compare it with, but it's quite small. Which makes it very easy to take with me to places, and even if I just want to go into the living room, you know, I don't feel like I'm lugging a big hefty book with me, even though it's pretty hefty with pages, but it's compact, which makes it easy for traveling purposes. So there you have it. Those are my most recent purchases to go along with my deck collection. And don't forget to check out any of the videos that I linked in this one if you want more of an in-depth look at any of the decks that I talked about today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to stick around and see more of my tarot content to come. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm also on Instagram at inyourhands.tarot if you'd like to check it out over there as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next one.